Hello lovely people of the internet, my name is Alex. I'm a first-year college student who's attempting to make a game and sell it on Steam. It's a long process in which I've learned a lot and still have a lot more to learn. In the last devlog, my game was basically a prototype with some nice looking pixel art. Since then, I've done a lot of work. I had to redo all the level design I had previously done. This was a setback, but nothing to be worried about. I had to come up with a level design system, something that would work with the gameplay and mechanics I have in the game, and that would also look nice. I think the solution I came up with works. Basically, I took the map of the game and divided it using a grid, which then I use as a reference. So each area of the game has roughly the same size and attributes that make it fun to play but still looks nice. I'd just like to state that I have no clue as to what I'm doing. I'm mainly just throwing stuff at the wall and trying to see what sticks. With the new level design system in place, I have finished 3/5 of the map. The spawn area, town area, snow area, are all done and looking pretty nice. And finishing the rest of the map will be somewhat easy, now that I have a level making system in place. Wait, why do I hear boss music? I've added a boss to the game. This unit of a knight is the boss of Night City, and is looking pretty thick if I do say so myself. He is still kind of unfinished, so I can tweak him while I'm making the rest of the game. I am planning on making 2 more bosses after this one for each area of the game, and then one final boss for when players reach the end of the game. I've also added a bunch of new enemies to the game. On top of that, I completely redid the enemy AI. Before, they were just mindless husks that would try to just catch the player. They were really dumb, like buying NFTs kinda dumb. Bruh. Like rebranding to Meta kinda dumb. Bruh.
You think it's funny to take screenshots of people's NFTs, huh? Property theft is a joke to you. I'll have you know that the blockchain doesn't lie. I own it. Even if you save it, it's my property. You are mad that you don't own the art that I own. Delete that screenshot.
Now, they're still a little bit dumb, but more like mistaking the hot sauce packet for the ketchup packet kinda dumb, you know? They now have a random intelligence level that is assigned to them at the start of every run. This determines how smart and aggressive they will be, so each run every enemy will behave slightly different. Some rushing you, others taking it easy. Now, they also attempt to dodge your bullets and come from behind. This makes them a little bit harder to deal with and more interesting. To go along with their new AI, all enemies now have spanking new death animations. So instead of just disappearing into oblivion, they now have some very nice particle effects and death animations. Very satisfying. When it came to making the particles, I had 2 options. Make a particle system within GameMaker, which would take a lot of coding, knowledge, and just a whole lot of work, because GameMaker doesn't come with a pre-made particle system, and have to painstakingly code each particle, and run the game each time I want to test it. Or the second option, just use software that makes particles and not worry about it. So, of course I went with the second option. Using this handy dandy software I found on Steam, I was able to make some pretty cool particles, death animations, and anything in between. But not only that, if I wanted to make these same particle effects in GameMaker, it would have taken way more work. Not only because I would have to code it, but to code it so it matches the colors and it reads the sprite and does it in the same way would have been a pain in the ass. So this little app was truly a lifesaver. I also added some animations to the pots, and redid the coins in the game. I've also redone the UI so it looks cleaner. While doing UI stuff, I added an in-game menu, kind of like the ones in Dark Souls. You can open it and change the settings of your game, but the game doesn't pause, it keeps running. I've added a bunch of new power-ups too, including a mini-map power-up, which is pretty cool. On top of all of this, I've added Steam achievements to my game. There are only a couple now, for stuff like getting health upgrades or defeating bosses, but I'm planning on adding a ton of achievements to the game. Some secret ones and some bullshit hard ones to get as well. For the next update, call me Mr. Worldwide, cause it's localization. I'm currently in the process of translating my game to Spanish. I will only localize the game to Spanish. because it's the only language I feel comfortable enough to translate into. But hey, being able to play the game in English and Spanish is pretty cool if you ask me. That's pretty much it for updates on Termina. It's been a lot of work, and there's still a lot more to do. The game will be kind of similar to The Binding of Isaac, where you run around shooting enemies and stacking power-ups for cool synergies. Of course, my game is way smaller in scale. I have a pre-made level instead of randomly generated ones like in The Binding of Isaac. But don't worry, I'm working on some randomizers that will affect the game, so it still feels kind of like a roguelite. So far the game is pretty fun. It'll probably be a small game as this was the intention to begin with. As I said at the beginning of the video, I'm a first-year college student, so this is my first attempt at a commercial game. And I'm mainly doing it because I love game development, and I love to learn new things. So this game gives me the opportunity to learn how games are made from start to finish. Even though this video, as most of my devlogs, is kinda short, it took a lot of work just to get all these updates done so I could show them to you in a video. I hope you all enjoy this devlog. If Termina looks interesting to you, I invite you to wishlist it on Steam, so when it comes out, Steam notifies you. For more Termina devlogs and game dev related content, you can always find it here on my YouTube channel. So if you like what you see, consider subscribing, it's totally free. That's it for this short video. I'll catch you all in the flippity flop. Goodbye.